All right, guys, today we're going to talk about a common situation that comes up all the time, and it involves the up and down shot. Okay, what does that mean? It doesn't mean you get up and down. It means the cue ball has to go up table and back down table, basically to where you started. In this scenario, we have an 8-ball situation, okay? We have one high ball, and our opponent has one low ball solid, okay? 8 ball is right here. So, very important, guys. When you have this type of situation, you need to recognize the 45, especially when you're just starting to figure this stuff out. Recognize the 45-degree cut angle and figure out which side of that 45 you're on. Okay, so the cut angle, if my cue ball was like right here, that would be a straight 90-degree cut on that 11 to the corner. If I was like over here, that would be a straight on shot. Right in the middle, our little template right here, is approximately our 45-degree cut angle spot, okay? Anywhere on that line, even if you're back here, okay? Still 45 degrees cut angle, okay? We're just going to use that spot right there. So there are a few different options here. Yes, there is a safety. Yes, you may try to hold it. Generally, you're not going to hold it if you're on the 45 or steeper. But on this side, you may be able to hold it with some inside spin. We'll get into that. But let's learn about the up and down. Okay, by the way, this 11 here is about 1 inch off of the rail from the edge of the 11, okay? So it's not a rail shot. All right, so we do need to cut this clean. We can't really hit the rail first. It's hard if we do. But anyways, so recognize when you're on the 45, if you play a rolling cue ball, one tip above center, so just a little bit of top spin if you're putting a little pace into it, generally it is going to come straight down and straight back. It shouldn't go either way unless you get a little bit of side spin on it. Okay, you can also hit it just a little bit thicker and the ball will still drop. That means it may come over here. If you hit it a little thinner, it may come a little bit more over here, even without any side spin. So let's just try to hit this properly, and we'll see if we go straight up, straight down, and see if we can get it in a straight line. Pretty close. All right. And we have a very doable shot. So the only problem with that is you have to be pretty specific on the weight control, how hard you hit it. If I able to hit that just a little bit harder, okay, now I don't really have a shot, a very difficult shot, or some kind of a bank or some kind of a safety, okay? So it is weight control specific. Okay, as you can see on the 45-degree angle, straight up, straight down. Now, like I said, if we hit it a little thicker or thinner, even though the ball still may drop in the pocket, that can change the trajectory of the cue ball slightly by about 1 diamond either way, especially when it's traveling the full length of the table. Okay, for those of you that say, well, why don't you just play some bottom left, some outside spin, and bring that sucker here, 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 and all the way back. Okay, but you need to hit that quite hard for that to travel all the way around the table 4 rails. Remember, every rail that it hits, friction is going to grab it and slow it down slightly, okay? So you have to, number one, you're going to have to hit this a lot harder than you need to in order to get back, which means you can rattle it, okay? And I got the edge of the horn here for the side pocket, and we ended up getting stuck down there. If I would have missed this horn, yeah, likely I would have made the 4-rail return to come back over here, okay? Potentially, if that ball wasn't there, I could have scratched in that corner as well. But there's more risk to that, okay? As you can see, I got close to the side pocket. I ended up hitting the horn, ended up making me get stuck down here. Now I have a crappy shot on the 8. All right, so what about playing some inside right spin, okay? The pocket is to my right. I'm cutting the ball to my right, so inside is right spin. So, yes, I actually like this shot a little bit better than playing the bottom outside left spin. I like playing the top inside right spin on this shot. Yes, there is a little bit of risk, guys. Yes, we have this side pocket, we have this corner pocket as risk factors, but it manages a lot easier. Number one, it's a lot less weight sensitive than going straight up and straight down and getting very close to that 8 ball. Okay, there's a small margin of error there, and you don't really want to crash the 8 because you don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so that is a very weight sensitive shot. This one isn't. Okay, so we can, number one, we can put a little bit of right on it, try to come into this rail here, here, and then back out towards the 6. Or we can put more right spin into it, come into this rail and into this rail here, and then back out towards where the 11 is now. Okay, so let's just try to come into this rail first, and we'll play these 2 rails to come back over to the green 6. Okay, so just a little bit of right spin. Okay, and we come back towards the green 6. Perfect. Okay, so that was about a half a tip of right spin on that shot. And as you can see, it was a lot less weight sensitive. Okay, let's put a little bit more right spin into it now. We'll hit before the side pocket and bring it around 4 rails, okay? So now I'm going to be playing 2 tips of right spin, just a little bit above center, and here we go. For those of you that say, hey, Big Al, just hold that cue ball over here with some right spin. Okay, well, it is a bit of a cut, okay? Chances are you're going to be up in here somewhere. You're not going to have a great shot on the 8. So here's a little hold. All right, like I said, not a great shot on the 8. Okay, in this specific scenario, assuming that my opponent only has 1 ball left, what would a good safety be in this situation? I don't know why you'd play a safety here because generally this is pretty easy out. But if you were to play a safety, yeah, there's 2 factors to this, okay? Yes, you can try to hook behind the 8. You don't need to hook your opponent though, because either way, they're going to have a 1 rail kick or a 3 rail kick or something, unless you actually freeze them up to the back of the ball or something. But anyways, you don't necessarily need the hook on their 6 ball because they can't cut it in as long as you leave the ball somewhere over here. And they don't have a bank because the 8 ball is in the way. So a hook is not really required. But what you do want is for this 11 to block the 8 ball from being able to go to that corner. Because if they make this 1 rail kick, you don't want them having a shot on the 8 to the corner. Okay? And the second thing is you want to leave the cue ball on the rail. So a safety may look something like this, a very soft shot. Okay, the 8 ball is still blocked. My opponent cannot cut that in, and they do not have a bank. So now they have to try to do a kick shot. And what is that going to mean? Even if they make it, they're not going to have anything on the 8. Also, I improved my lie a little bit on the 11 ball. Okay, it is easier to make now from more places on the table. Okay, so I improved my lie. I made my opponent have to do a long kick shot with almost no chance of having a shot on the 8. So that is a good safety. Okay, you can always do a 3-way shot. Call the 11 here, stick the cue ball there. If you make the 11, you have shape. If you miss the 11, you have a hook. Okay, most important part is sticking the cue ball. Like that. Okay, by the way, these up and down shots generally work from about 35 degrees to about 60 degrees or so, okay? So let's make it a little steeper. By the way, if you were over here at 30 degrees, you may be able to hold that into this zone right here, okay? At 45, we already showed you, Not likely. Okay, at about 55 to 60 degrees, the up and down still works about the same, okay? So here we go. Okay, you can see we still come up straight, up and down. Of course, it is weight sensitive. As you can see, we have no shot. So the inside spin still works nicely, even if you're at 55 or 60 degrees here, okay? So anywhere in between 35 and 65, pretty much every shot I just showed you works, okay? Let's look at one more shot if you're at about this 65, 60 degree um, cut angle, okay? All right, so basically we are perfectly on the 4-rail shot right now, okay? Pretty darn close because I have a spot on my wall in behind the camera. All I have to do is aim for that spot. I've done other videos on how to find that spot, but we can just stick it there, do the 4-rail shot, just put it right in there, okay, if you want. Okay, first try, guys. If we missed, we did have the hook. If we made it, we had the shot.